Happy Friday. Today I wanted to ask you, what is your relationship with God? I think a lot of us have very fraught relationships with God, which is understandable, right? I feel if I was raised Catholic, and anyone of the Christian faith, I can only speak again from my Catholic upbringing. It was very punitive, right? God was like George Carlin once said, this character in the sky who's watching everything you're doing, and he's judging you, and he's gonna damn you to hell if you do wrong, and if you sin, and if you enjoy pleasure, and all of these things that are really like a beautiful part of life. He's gonna punish you for it, and he always needs money, but also he loves you. It's just like a really toxic kind of relationship we were taught. Like this like interwoven fear, love, respect, and punishment. This authoritative God who's like your father, but also he's like in you. It's got a whole lot of shaking going on, and so it's very understand. I say all that to say it's very understandable that we have complicated relationships with God. And I do think, as I've been saying, one of the most important relationships we have in life is with ourselves. And I think our relationship with God also tends to dictate our relationship with self, or they inform each other, right? Because if God is in all of us and what makes us alive is this divine spark, there is God within us. If we don't have a close relationship with God, or if we're not clear on our relationship with God, it's going to lead to a lot of problems, right? Because your relationship with God is ultimately your relationship with spirituality, which is ultimately your relationship with your divinity, which is your relationship with your soul. So, curious to hear if you want to share what your relationship with God is. If you don't want to share, that's fine too. Just think about it. I would love for this to be a point of focus for us. As we have heard before, right, the revolution will not be televised because the revolution will be internal. It is spiritual. You've heard, I'm sure y'all have heard the term spiritual warfare. How do you prepare for spiritual warfare? You big up and strengthen your spirit, right? So that means assessing your relationship with God, assessing your relationship with spirit. And I want to be clear in saying that God does not equal religion. Right? Like those are two different things. I'm not asking about your relationship with religion. That's a different question. I do think our relationship with religion has informed our relationship with God. However, I would like for us to be able to separate the two and really consider what is our relationship with this divine source, power, creator, energy, the universe that is within all of us and within ourselves, and in everything that we see, right? And what is our relationship with that? Do you ignore it? Do you actually take time to be grateful for it? Do you have a connection with it? And if you don't, that's okay too. I'm just asking as an assessing moment. Where are you at with that? Thanks for listening.